Okay, here we are at the Hatch little get-together that Jodi planned for us on the 13th of April. And looks like we got a better turnout than I expected. We got Daryl James, we got Doug and Steve Hatch, we got Tom and Donna, we got Russell and Tom, Keith over there. So,
Jodi, did you put this thing on?
this is definitely a good turnout.
Donna helped me though.
Well, not very much.
Well, we got a few more that showed up now, so we have some of Nedra's kids who played tonight. Jason and
Okay, where did George and Dora go on their
Jenny Lynn, where did Jenny Lynn go? They're doing their filling out all of their trivia forms that Jodi printed out for us, and talking about the good old days. There's some really interesting things that she put together. Let's see, I got, for example, she had this one that you could go through and answer some of these questions. And then she has another piece of paper going around where she's answering, asking other questions.
How's Christine doing?
Well, last I heard she was doing fairly well.
Jodi tries to get together with her.
That's just funny. I always figured Saffron to be an up and coming place.
It was in the South. But I don't know.
Stay there?
Like Alabama or that's it. Yes.
Well, that is good. That kind of figure. You don't have to stand.
Well, I guess I'm the oldest. I should start. I'm Russell Flake. I'm 87, and I work in the Mesa Temple on Thursday and Friday morning from 4:30 to 11. Wow. And I watch all the kids come in for baptism because I'm at the recommend desk, and I love it. And I live across the street from there in the condominiums.
Wow. Clark and Afton's oldest child.
And that's why he's here today, because my son goes to the baptistry every Thursday morning before school. And he said, because he saw my son's name was James, he said, I knew of Peter John James. So I sent my son back with questions. Ask him if he knows a Quola. And it was actually just this week, last week.
Last week.
Is this last week?
I had my son ask him if he knew about the reunion.
Oh!
And he said no, so this week I sent him with a printout of the flyer.
Christine, Christine Flake, Leo's wife, she was supposed to send you information, and she said she sent it to you and to Dave and Mary Ellen.
My phone number changes so many times. That doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
You're supposed to pay the bill once a month.
There you go, pay the bill.
Well, my kids pay the bill once a month, but every now and then I do something stupid, and I try to buy something on the internet through my phone, and the phone company has been constructed to cancel it. So there goes my card, there goes my phone.
That serves you right, Russell.
Okay, tell us your wife's name.
It's Karen Slack.
Karen Slack. And how long have you two been married now?
She's actually, I should say, her maiden name was Davis, and she was born and raised in Mesa. And we've been married, in June will be 8 years. Wow. And she's a wonderful lady. And she says, I can't go today. I said, why? And she says, well, I gotta go make some money so I can go to my daughter's birthday.
Okay.
She drives for Lyft.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, maybe we can have Nedra's kids go next, because they would be next in line, because Nedra was one of the oldest, and so Nedra's kids who are here,
That's you.
Dave is on his way.
He's coming?
Yes.
Yes, I was hoping he would come. He's always been really supportive of Hatch family stuff.
Yeah, he was on the freeway looking for Broadway to get off.
They let him drive?
Yeah, he's younger than I am.
And they let Russell try to go see.
Let's keep moving. We're gonna
All right,
have
we got next.
Nedra's kid.
Yeah, so Jenny Lynn and then
Okay, I'm Nedra's. My mom lives in Gilbert with Sandy and her husband. She just wasn't feeling well today. She wanted to come.
okay, I was wondering if she was going to make it. She's not feeling well. Is she okay?
She won't hear that, right? But if you want to fast forward, that'd be great. She doesn't want to say. She doesn't know what's wrong.
Okay.
And my sister Missy's in Minnesota still. She has 9 kids. And then Jason is in Pima or Tracy.
You have 8 kids?
They have 8 kids. I have 6 kids. That's
Robin and Jill.
Sandy. Robin is in Taylor. And she travels a lot, so. And then Joe's in Mesa, right by us in Lehigh.
How long ago was it that your dad passed away?
2015.
2015.
In March.
10 years.
That's tough stuff.
Yeah, and Joe has 4 kids.
Thank you. Jason.
They have a grandbaby, their grandmother.
Yeah, Jason, stand up and give us some information about your family.
About my family? So Tracy and I live in the Gila Valley. We've lived in Safford for a while, then we lived in Central for about 7 years, and we've been in Pima for about 10. We built on 15 acres, so we have our horses and milk cow, and then I worked for the mine as a civil engineer for 15 years.
Wow.
Do you know what Jed used?
Jed's a good friend of mine. He lived right across the street from me for
Jed, I said hello.
6 years. Okay. So we moved to Pima about 10 years ago. Our oldest is what, 25 this year. She just had her first baby, our first grandbaby, and they're moved to Arkansas. Cassidy's going to graduate. Our second's going to graduate from college, from BYU, or the U of U here in May. And then Jacob's got home from his mission in July. He's headed up to BYU, Idaho on Monday.
Where'd he serve?
Virginia.
Sweet.
I got 4 grandkids by marriage going to Idaho.
And Tylee's on business scholarship at EA. Kelsey's in her junior year, playing 2 or 3 sports in high school. Then we got Audrey. She plays volleyball. She's in 8th grade. She's playing volleyball and basketball. And then Wyatt. He's 11. And he's in 5th grade.
Yeah.
And then Lucy's our caboose. She's in 2nd grade and she's 8.
I know everybody.
That's
We're glad you came, Lucy. I'm so glad you came.
So we see the Hatch cousins regularly from Thatcher. Matt.
Yes. Luke's family's there,
Luke.
and Matt, and
Yeah.
who else is down?
Josh.
Dan
Daniel.
Dan,
Dan's there.
Josh.
So
and Josh.
when they get
And
together,
Josh.
we'll slide in every once in a while. So what else? Is that enough?
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good update. Well done.
Jeff, you have to tell me like the order now. How do we, oldest, youngest, what, are you the next oldest?
Oh, I'm 68. Anybody else?
And you're older than dirt.
68 today. Today is his birthday. Oh.
Today's Jeff's birthday.
That's right.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeff. Happy birthday to you.
All right.
68 today.
Yeah. My grandkids told me I'm old. Am I speaking next? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, why don't you tell us,
Okay.
give us an update about your
An
family.
update. All right, an update. So busy. We're always busy. Barbara had to go pick up Kristen. Kristen is our youngest of 5. Our oldest of 5 is right here, Stephanie, and her
Yay.
husband Jason.
Who is my nephew?
Yeah, and that's right.
Yeah, we have another
Yeah,
connection there. That's
relatives
right.
here from both sides of the family.
Crazy.
Anyway, Kristen was at a Special Olympics track meet today and ran the 400 meter and the 800 meter and got gold in each.
Wow.
So, well, one race she ran against one competitor and the other race she ran against 2. So.
But she was on TV, and they did a special with her.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, and it was really, really good about her golfing and about her swimming and how because she's very athletic.
Anyway, so Barbara and I, we're retired. We retired in August of 20, about a year and a half, I can't remember, a year and a half ago. And we lived just 5 minutes, 7 minutes away over here. Doing good. Barbara's dad has moved in with us, so we're caregivers there. He is 88. He's 1 year older. Rusty is 1 year older. And family helped out. Scott was here. So we have, let's see, Stephanie, now Kevin. Kevin is a Master Sergeant in the Air Force. Hey, there's Dave. And he's older than me.
He'll go next.
Yeah, they will go next.
And they are stationed in New Mexico, Alamogordo. So he is there. He has another like 5 years to go and he'll retire from the Air Force. Then Stacy lives in Santan Valley, so not too far away. And let's see, Kevin and Valerie have 4 kids. You guys have 6 altogether. Yeah, and then Stacy has 3. And then Scott, our next son, right now, he and his wife and 2 daughters are living on some land we have, 14 miles east of Snowflake. And he does not mind being called an Eastie Beastie. For anybody that lives in Snowflake, you know the Eastie Beastie. And then Kristen's with us. So that's kind of a quick update on what we're doing. This winter I retired, but because we were home with Marvin, my father-in-law, we weren't doing any traveling. I got a dream retirement job. I work at a golf course. I'm a starter 3 days a week. And oh, here comes Barbara. And I just get to visit with people every day and make friends and talk to them. And anybody from Minnesota has to tell me an Ole and Lena joke. And now this summer I'm going to keep working there, but I'm going to swap to where I take care of the carts in the driving range a couple days a week. Free driving range, free golf. What?
Tell us an Ole joke.
Okay.
I'm not
So, Ole and Lena finally got married. I can't tell you the joke before that. Okay, but I'll tell you this. So Ole and Lena finally got married. And they were on their honeymoon, and they were driving to the big city of Minneapolis. And as they're driving along, Ole just kind of puts his hand over on Lena's knee, and Lena kind of blushes, and she goes, Ole, you know, you can go further. So he drove to Duluth. They're stupid jokes, okay?
Yeah, but Jeff, you need to tell us a little bit about this diet you've been on for the last year and why.
Oh yeah, so a year and 4 months ago I was diagnosed with high-risk prostate cancer. Barbara and I were both doing a lot of research. We weren't finding much that was very positive. She found a natural program called Square One. So on March 6th, I went on the Square One program, whole food, plant-based diet, and juice, and drink the juice of 5 pounds of carrots every day, along with other stuff, apples and celery and beets and lots of garlic. And anyway, so I've been doing that, but we had an MRI done about 7 months ago, and that was the first MRI. The second MRI was done 6 months after that, and in those 6 months, the lesions in my prostate shrank by 17%.
Yay!
So-
My diet.
So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Anyway. Oh, one last thing. On Thursday of this coming week, I get to be one of about 75 or 80 speakers in Sandy, Utah at a Book of Mormon Evidence Conference and Expo. So I get to be a speaker.
Jeff has written a book. It's called Let the Scriptures Prevail, about Book of Mormon geography, right?
Anyway, which is interesting because I'm a little bit different than the Heartlanders, but the Heartlanders are going to let me speak. So.
Yeah, we know you're a little different, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go. Doug is gonna fill you in on our family.
All right.
I gotta go babysit grandkids.
Oh, you want to take your turn now?
Steve, tell us about
Yeah, take your turn real quick.
Go, giddy up. We've got, Leslie and I will be married 45 years, coming up this December.
Cool.
We have 6 kids, 29 grandkids.
29 grandkids.
29
That's amazing.
grandkids. Really fast. Tara's right here, our oldest. She's got 6 kids right here in Queen Creek area. They're doing really well. Tyler is in Michigan. He works for General Motors. He has 5. Logan is in Provo, Utah. He has 5. He's trying to get a CPA. Kisha's right here living. She's got 5. And who's after? Mariah. Mariah's in Michigan with Tyler. Her husband is in residency and doing quite well. They've got 4. She'll probably end up having 6 or 8. She's just a baby making a machine. And then we've got, who's left? Cesare. She just moved in with us. They're struggling a little bit. That's where we got to go. So it was good seeing all of you.
Is there any way we can get a family picture before you leave?
A family?
We gotta get a picture. We gotta get a picture with everybody.
When you see Doug, you see me.
No, please. Everybody get around Russell here and let's take a picture real quick.
The problem is, good thing we don't have to move.
You won't be in the picture.
You didn't see the picture. You're the
How am I gonna do that?
You're a cousin.
Hey.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
That's why I put it on Facebook, because I didn't have any phone number. Okay. Dave, I think you're the next up.
They're waiting for you to talk about your family, Dave. Give an update.
Yeah, we're going oldest to youngest, and so it is your turn to tell us your update. Tell us all about
the youngest already? Well, you're talking about just my family, not my brothers and sisters.
Just your family. Let's hear it. We want to know all about you, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, Mary Ellen and I have been married for 56 years now.
Woo! 56 years.
We have 7 children, 30 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren.
Woo!
Our oldest son is in Lehi, Utah. He's an IT guy for a big company there. He has 7 kids. That's David. Joanna is divorced. She lives with us, and her 3 sons live with us. One's on a mission right now. The youngest son is on a mission. Conrad is next. He lives in East Salt Lake. Worked for J.P. Morgan for years, but he retired from that. Now he says it's like being retired. He only works 40 hours a week for the church. He works in the investment department of the church.
This is your son, you said in Snowflake? Or where?
Salt Lake.
He's in Salt Lake. He has 2 kids. The oldest played in Carnegie Hall when he was 8 years old. And the next year won an international competition and went to overseas, wherever Anyway, the next was would be who would be next?
Margo.
I guess Margo would be next. She lives in Queen Creek. She has 4 kids. The youngest is still at home. The older 2 of them are. Her oldest son is graduating from BYU this Friday. And I can't go because I got another grandson going on a mission. Camille's son is going on a mission. We're going through the temple Friday. So we can't go up to the graduation. I'm looking for you guys. Margo and David are married. Like I said, they have 4 and they have 2 grandkids already. 2 are great grandkids. Merrill is, he's married. I'm not sure where they're living right now. They were in Israel. She's a professor at BYU, his wife, and they have 4 kids. She's the youngest female of childbearing age that the church has ever given what's the word? To become a professor.
Permission.
Tenure. On the tenure track. So she is tenured there now. She teaches Book of Mormon and New Testament. They were in Israel teaching at the Jerusalem Center this year. When the attack happened, fortunately the church was able to get them out, and they're back home now. They live there up the canyon in Provo Canyon. Camille is a nurse. She's divorced. She lives in Thatcher. She has 7 kids. Her oldest son is the one that'll be leaving on the mission next month. He's already got his call going to Montana. Renelle, our youngest. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Our youngest is Renelle. She's in Baton Rouge. She's also a nurse. Married, has 2 kids. She just quit her job and had a couple of operations. They're moving back to Arizona in the next couple of months as soon as they sell their house. So that's all of us, and my wife and I are here back we bought our mom's house there in Mesa when she couldn't live alone anymore. We moved in and my wife took care of her. So we're there. We have a cabin up at the old ranch up by Airpine, and that's, I don't know what else there is to say.
That's great. Thank you.
Tell us about the cable. Does the cable still work?
Yep.
Yeah, and you know, when I was a teenager, I got that bent renovator tube to slide down on.
Yeah.
They've never done any better than that. That's still what was used to the very end.
Yeah, that was great. Who would be next?
Don't all jump at once. Who's next? John?
Probably. What, Steve?
Are we going in order of like?
I thought from the sibling Hatch.
Of the Hatch siblings? Are we going that order?
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, okay. So Glenna, nobody's here, and does anybody know if any of where Chad's kids are living? Does anybody know where Gary or Debbie or Brad, or does anybody know where they live? I think Don was in Colorado.
Don was.
Because Nedra used to keep track of Don.
Her son lives in Safford, one of her sons.
So her son Aubrey.
David passed away last year.
Who passed away?
Her son, David.
David did?
He's my age.
Wow.
I know Debbie's brother. Who is it, Brad?
Brad and Gary and Alan.
Either Brad or Gary lives in Flagstaff.
Really?
Yeah. We came across at their house. It's from their house.
No way.
I'll get the information from them.
Oh, that son?
Yay! And how are we going to share
borrow a hat?
like phone numbers? How do we? We need to make a list, don't we?
Pretty soon someone's going to start to talk on this side. I'll have to go over there.
Doug's next.
Am I next? Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick. Doug Hatch. That's it.
Oh,
Enjoyed it. All right. We have
Keep it
we've had 7. Lost one. The rest of them are doing well. They're all a bunch of turd herders like their dad. We have 22 grandkids. We have one still in the child birthing area, so maybe we'll get to 25. Who knows? I tried to bribe my other daughter-in-law, my other daughter, whatever they are, to have more, but they're not going to. They don't want any part of it. So. My lovely wife, Cricket, here. We just love our grandkids. We don't love our kids so much, but we love our grandkids. And when we get together, there's 45 of us there. And we just love to get together and see our grandkids. We're going to t-ball, softball, volleyball, basketball, soccer, what else? Horse riding.
We're just all starting it.
So we start from the top of the state and come clear down here and hit every game we can. So it's a good time. And that's it.
Nice.
Oh, and my sister Jackie, I don't know if a lot of you may not have known her. She was older.
I would know Jackie, yeah.
Yep, Jackie, she had a rough go the first 25 years, but now she's a Beachside president and doing great. So.
wow.
That's incredible. I would love to see
Took
her.
a while. She was stubborn, so she came back.
But she's still in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a Flagstaff.
She seems more like Peggy every day.
Oh, she's exactly like Peggy. So. Good.
All right.
So after Steve, then we go to Lloyd. Yeah, so we're gonna.
KT's the spokesman for Loy Hatch Plan.
Oh no, you each have to do your own thing here. But aren't Steve and Susie coming?
No, he's working.
He's working. Okay.
Steve's
So-
always working.
I'm John. I'm Loy's 3rd oldest, and it's my wife Athena.
We're sorry.
We could all apologize to Athena. I do it every day. So I'll tell you, Steve is a letter carrier for the post office, still working there. He's delivering mail right now. And Dan is retired, living in Thatcher. He maintained pumps and everything for the Allen Pump Company. And I work for my wife. I hang draperies and blinds all day. And Mark, he married Clontz, Nikki Clontz from Thatcher, and they've been married quite a while now, and they live in East Mesa. Did I do that right?
His first wife was a Clontz. His second wife is
What was she?
what is
They're cousins. Nikki's husband and Kelly were their cousins. So,
Yeah.
so Kelly's maiden name was Clontz, his
I
first
thought
wife.
Nikki's name was Clontz.
And his second wife's married name was Clontz.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, thank you. It was an interesting story, but we're not going to go into that. Let's see, and then there's Carrie. He is, Carrie and Diana live here in East Mesa, and Carrie runs a garage door company, and hard-working man. And Becky lives, right now, she's living in Tucson. Her husband Russ is a traveling nurse. And then there's, who's next?
Tom.
Tom is here.
Yeah.
Tom lives in Payson. He does
Where's
plants.
Becky these days?
What was that?
Tucson.
Oh,
They live in Oregon.
they have property in Oregon, but he travels
I
around.
lived in Oregon for a couple of years, and they were in my ward
Are they?
briefly.
Okay.
They
20 years ago, but
They
yeah.
still live in Oregon, but since he's a traveling nurse the last few months, since November he's been in Tucson, and he'll be there for a few more months. And then we'll see if he renews or not.
He can escape.
Right. And then, who's next?
Luke.
Luke is in Thatcher. He's got, he couldn't be here because he has cancer and he can't be in big crowds. So we're a little worried about him. But I went and saw him a few days ago. He's looking great, actually. And if he gets feeling really good, they're going to really sock it to him with the chemo. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But anyway, who's next?
Rachel.
Rachel and Randy have a yacht that they bought, and they're sailing south to the Azores or wherever they want to go. They're in Charleston right now. They're leaving down.
Let's make that the next family reunion. Let's all go on a yacht.
Let's all go on a yacht together. Well, it won't be on their yacht. It's only that big. But yeah.
Only a 4-bedroom.
Yeah, it's true.
We need a Hatch family cruise.
It's a 4-bedroom yacht, but I mean the room's like this big. So anyway, then there's Matt is in Thatcher. You may have heard he had a heart attack a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Died playing pickleball, and there's a couple nurses on the court next door that rushed over and did CPR on him and brought him back to life. So he's actually looking great. He looks pretty good. I told him he did it right. He kind of messed it up coming back, you know. Anyway. Who's next? Ruth. Ruth lives in Benson with her husband, retired Air Force guy. Gary, thank you. And then Rosanna lives in East Mesa here with her husband. He's a doctor.
You think she knew about this? I didn't know how to
I don't
reach
know.
people. I did not know how
I'm
to
telling you, my family is a little hard to get a hold of.
But
that's just me.
On the family Facebook page. So.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you're as confused as we are about your family.
Thank you. No. They just all disown me. They talk amongst themselves. Let's see, who else is there? Soraya. Soraya lives in East Mesa as well. And her husband's a doctor too. And then we have Joshua and Wiz. And Joshua works for the mine in Safford. He's a heavy equipment repairman. And then Wiz is living in East Mesa with her husband Seth. And Seth works for Ford.
What'd you call her?
Elizabeth.
So Elizabeth, and you call her Liz.
I did. I may have called her Wiz.
Say Wiz?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't know that's what her nickname.
She won't like that when she hears that. There, that'll make it even. That's all of us. Okay.
What about your family though?
Oh. Because the other Hatch brothers that are here should get to talk about their families. We have 5 children. You can tell them about our...
Oh, we do have 5 kids. Our oldest is Nathan. He lives in Tucson. And he and his wife both work for Raytheon. They make things that go boom. And then we have Cammie, and she lives in Safford. It's hard being under the scope. So Camilla Vanilla lives in Safford at the base of the mountain. Her and her husband. He works at the mine. And they have 4 daughters. We lost one of her daughters in an accident here a couple years ago. But she's having another child, a little boy this time. So they're changing things up. So she's going to give birth in July. It'll be probably our last grandbaby. And then we have Brent. Did I skip Saray? Sorry, Saray. Saray and her husband Russell live in Mesa. He works at Intel, making computer chips. And then we have Brent, and Brent works in Utah. He works on a satellite company. They're making a satellite to go up into space with NASA. And then Preston is a doctor. He's just moving to a practice in Lake Tahoe area. And he's going to be doing physical rehabilitation and physical medicine there. So. There.
Wow, that's impressive.
Over here?
Carrie.
Go,
Carrie.
Katie.
All right.
I let the boss speak for me.
No, you can talk.
There, you got permission. Okay. Our oldest is Stephanie. She lives like 5 minutes away from us, maybe 10. But she's a doctor of physical therapy, and she has 4 kids, so she stays home. And her husband is an anesthesiologist there in Gilbert Chandler. And we have Justin, who passed away probably 7 years ago, special needs. And then we have
Jordan, which is the youngest, and he does garage doors. Working hard.
And where do you guys live?
We live probably 10, 15 minutes south.
And are you retired, or what are you guys up to?
I am tired. I just get up every day, go back to work again.
Carrie's been trying to retire for a while, and this birthday, June 30th, we've been telling Jordan all year he is really retiring. So that's the plan.
And then what happens when he retires?
He'll be helping Jordan. Jordan will own the business and Carrie will be the employee rather than the bird breeder.
Okay.
Right.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, is it Tom?
My turn? Okay. My wife Donna and I have been married 36 and a half years. Got 6 kids. The oldest is in the Air Force. He's stationed right now in Korea. And he'll be there till September, and then him and his family will move to Okinawa, Japan for the next 3 years. He's going to do the lifer there, so he's got like 7 more years. 7 more years, and then he'll have 20. Second oldest is Audrey. She's married to Aaron Blake. He's a Mesa police officer recently. They have 2 kids, and they're awesome. That's 2 grandkids first. Oh, and Kurt has 1, so that's 3. That's all of our grandkids. Then there's Brett. He just graduated in psychology, and he's working here in Mesa. Audrey's in Mesa, of course. And, yeah, Brett's. Let's see. He's working at U-Haul right now, but he's looking for a job
that will help pay for his master's.
Yes, yeah, he needs a master's. Kyle lives with us. He just returned from his mission in Georgia about 2 years ago, and he's not sure what he wants to do yet, so we're waiting for that to happen. Lindsay just arrived at her mission in Colorado Springs. She'll do the next 18 months there, and she's awesome. And Cassandra, the youngest, is in Spokane. She went up there to live with Kurt's wife for a little while, and she decided to stay. So when Kurt and his family moved to Japan, she's going to stay there. And that's everybody.
And you live in Payson?
We live in Payson.
How long have you been there?
3 years. I've been a truss designer. I've been in truss business since my mission in '84. And I get to work remotely, so I can live wherever I want, and I work for a company in South Dakota right now.
Wow. And Donna
Donna's
is
a
published author.
Famous published author.
Yes, she is.
She's awesome.
An autograph before we go.
Everything that I write or do on email or anything, she checks first, make sure it's right.
I don't know the order. Is it? I haven't gone yet. Okay. All right. And then Rob too. Yeah. Okay. So Wayne and Dixie are my parents, and
Dixie was what number in the tree?
She's number 9.
9. Yeah.
Yeah. Dixie's number 9 in the Hatch family. And I have always loved the Hatch family. I have always enjoyed our get-togethers. I think that I had to write a report when I was in 6th grade about the most exciting event, and it was the Hatch reunion. Because I just looked forward to it so much to go to see all my cousins.
And second to that would have been the Flake Ranch.
Oh, going to Airplane. Yes, absolutely. So Keith and I, we've been married 26 years. We have a yours, mine, and ours family. And so when I met Keith, he has 8 children. I had 6. We married, and on purpose, we had number 15. In our old age. And so our youngest daughter, Natalie, today she just took the MCAT. She's graduating from UVU, and so she's headed off to medical school next year. So we'll see. Hopefully she gets accepted somewhere. So my oldest daughter, Julie, so Julie and Natalie are 22 years apart in age. So it's kind of a span there.
Sounds like a hatch thing.
It is. I think grandmother was 45 when she had Cola. She was 45 years old. And I found out today that Cola on her birth certificate was named Laura. I had no idea of that. That's so interesting. So my oldest daughter, Julie, Hunter Moore, they live in Snowflake, which is really fun. And they have 5 children. And then my son Brent and Michelle, they live in Liberty, Missouri, and he has his own law practice and does really well. He does mostly Spanish-speaking clients. I think they're about 80% of his clientele. And then my son Jeremy, if you ever do YouTube, he's a YouTuber, and they do J-House vlogs, and this last year, with their 5 kids, they have traveled the world. And I think they're in the Philippines right now. They were just in Kosovo a while ago, and everywhere they go, they donate and they help out, and they just built a library there and donated 900 books, which they paid for, all in Albanian, so that the kids in that school and high school have a library and in that community. Then Troy, he and his wife, they live in Kearney, Missouri, which is just 10 minutes from Liberty. So they're out there. His wife's a veterinarian, and Troy he has a master's degree in public administration, but he does pest control because he makes so much money doing it. So he sells pest control in the summers because he's good at it. Then Travis and Ashley, they live in Snowflake, right by us, 2 houses down from us. And Keith and I, we actually, we're cattle birds, we're not snowbirds. We have a ranch and a home up in Snowflake, and 450 mama cows up there. And then we have a home and a ranch here in Apache Junction. Well, now we're living in Gold Canyon. And we're here during the winter and spring because he has 770 steers out here that he has to babysit. His people cut the fence almost every night, and ADOT calls us, "Hey, Mr. Flake, you've got steers out on the highway." So we stay here to take care of the fences. So then Travis and Ashley are up in Snowflake. They have 3 children. Their 2 youngest children both are special needs. So that has really changed their life. And they're now doing a YouTube channel called Special Steps. And if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube and check that out, it's really kind of amazing. She's finishing her master's degree in psychology, and Travis is a professional YouTuber, well, a video editor. And so they put together good videos. I mean, my youngest son, Jeff, he lives in Sholo, and he and Emily Jean they're working in Sholo. And then Natalie is in UVU, she's married, and she and her husband are going to be headed to medical school pretty soon. Between us, we have 40 grandchildren, which some of you guys have a lot more grandchildren, but our kids have not been that prolific. But we do have, I have my first great-grandchild coming. He'll be born in June. Keith has 13 great-grandchildren. So we have a big family. We love it. We like doing family stuff. I think that takes most of our time. And what we do is chasing kids and grandkids.
Wow.
Jodi's also a published author.
I am a published author.
What book did you publish?
Called Evacuation. It's fiction. Historical fiction, basically. It's actually science.
You want me to hold it? Oh, no, if you want to, yeah. I was looking for my hat,
yeah.
but anyway. The sun's getting pretty brutal.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you get over here, sit over here with me,
Okay.
where I'm with that.
Yeah.
Who's left? Is that everybody?
Rob's going here, and then we gotta get...
All right. I'm Rob. I'm number 4 out of 6 from Wayne and Dixie. And I've had a lot of interesting things happen. You know, I was attending some college here in Mesa at MCC when I was younger, and then traveled to Texas and Dallas when I got a job working as a circuit designer, as a draftsman. So what I do is I take the circuits that are made by the engineers and I turn those into a physical drawing, and that can be fabricated into a chip, an integrated circuit. Well, so the company I was working for was like a contracting company, and they got a contract with Texas Instruments in Dallas, so I went out there to help them open an office for a couple of years in the late 80s and worked at Texas Instruments there. And then when that finished up, I knew I wanted to come back to Arizona, and I ended up meeting a lady over there in Texas, and then we got married and came back to Arizona and lived actually in Chandler for a while, and then ended up out in Gilbert. And eventually that didn't work out, but we got divorced, and so then I was a free ranging person again, and I was able to be a menace to society. But things worked out well for me. I ended up finding another wonderful lady, got married, and so then I became a stepdad and had two stepkids. And the oldest girl was Chantal, and the youngest boy was Stefan. And so I got to help raise those children for many years, for about 10 years. And Stefan still lives here in the south, in the Gilbert, and he works at AutoZone as a manager there. And then my daughter Chantal is married, lives here in Mesa, and her husband's a really good classical piano player and everything. But she has a job working at an attorney's office where they focus on patents and trademarks and copyrights. And so she's like not really an attorney, but she does a lot of the paperwork in the firm to handle and do all of the technical stuff, the technical writing and everything for the law office for patents, trademarks, and copyrights. And so and they have a daughter, and so I get to see them quite often because they're very close. And then again, I was divorced for a number of years and was living in Gilbert, and then I got remarried again 4 years ago, and now live in Mesa with Rosalind, who is right now out visiting one of her sons that lives in Oklahoma City, and he is in the Air Force, and he has 6 children, and they're getting ready to be transferred out to Europe for 4 years. So she's getting to spend a little bit of time with them a couple of weeks before they leave the country for 3 or 4 years, and they're going to be assigned to a NATO base there in Europe. So that's why she's not here today. And so she's got 4 kids, and her oldest one is special needs. So lives with us, and so I'm taking care of him right now while she's out of town. And it's very rewarding to actually be around a lot of these amazing kids that she raised. And in fact, she's from a family of 10 children herself, so she has a lot of siblings and a lot of cousins and a lot of grandkids from all of that here in Mesa. But so I'm still working in circuit design, and I actually got laid off from NXP last year, and I thought I was going to just retire, but then I got a phone call from a manager that I worked at from a couple companies earlier than that said, hey, we heard you're available, we need you, come work with us. So I got another job working, doing circuit design, and I'll probably finish up with them over the next couple years and probably finally retire. But otherwise, we would like to serve a mission. We would like to get involved with the church that way, but we'll have to see how it goes. With the special needs, I'm not really sure how serving a mission is going to work for us, but we'll have to just wait and see. Meanwhile, we'd like to do a lot of local hiking and try to get out and stay pretty active when the weather's nice, and hike in the mountains in the summer, and then the desert here in the wintertime. And so that's what's going on with the Rob Emerson family.
All right. Thanks. Nice.
Thank you.
I think it might be.
Did you want to talk about anything all about our siblings? I mean, I know we have we got Lori that's here in town. She's the next one that's oldest that's
we just went
not
on
here.
A cruise, the 5 of us.
Us Anderson siblings went on a cruise, and so Lori wasn't able to make it today. But then we have me, and then after me is David, and Davey lives in Idaho, and he bought some raw land with a bunch of trees on it, and he's going to try to build himself a getaway, and put stuff underground and all kinds of big plans. And he's quite a mechanic. He can fix a lot of stuff, and so he's just like, I'm going to cut my trees down, make a little sawmill, make all my lumber, and build everything from scratch, and put containers under the ground and plant my crops in the containers underground. And he has all these plans. So anyway, that's what David's doing. And then Bruce lives in Logan, Utah, and he loves the winter sports and all the snow and everything. And so he and Christy live up there, and they're happy with but they both have roots here in the valley. So Christy's mom lives here in Mesa, so they do come to Mesa quite a bit and come to East Valley a couple, 2 or 3 times a year that we get to see them. And so there we get to see them pretty often. So I think that's the update with all of us siblings. Okay, who's next?
We need Greg.
Greg?
I'm the last. Are we done?
Well, and Greg, and then I still would like to hear from over here from Stephanie too.
All right.
All right.
Fill us in with, I know you're the only one representing your family.
I'll take my hat off so there's no question which family I'm with.
Oh, there you go.
So I am number 3 son of Gerald and Paula. So my dad passed away a few years ago. My mom is technically alive in the Dallas area. My older brothers Mike and Pete both live in the Dallas area, so my mom lives in that area with them also. She's not doing well though. If you went and visited her, well, she wouldn't recognize me, but sometimes people remember from when they're really young. Maybe she'd recognize you. So she's not doing good that way. She's 86. I know you're thinking 86, but Russell's 87. Yeah. Russell, the nephew, was born before my mom, the aunt. So there you go. And yes, my mom's birth certificate says Laura on it. I don't know. I guess this isn't a common family story. So my mom didn't know her name was Laura until she went to register at ASU. And she needed a birth certificate. And that was her birth certificate said Laura on it. She's like, oh, you got, what's up? What's up? So apparently Granddad read some story or article the night before the blessing at church and saw the name Quola and liked it. And so when he blessed her in church the next day, he named her Quola. So that's how that came. And then apparently my dad, his name's Gerald, but I guess he was originally George. So both my parents had names. My dad's dad was named George, and his dad was named George, and apparently my grandmother said, I'm not having George III. For some of you history buffs, that was the King of England during the American Revolution. So she said, not having George III. So, there you go. Allison and I, this is my wife Allison, we live in Mesa, 10 miles west of here, near Val Vista and McAllis, for those of you who know the area. And we've been married coming up on 18 years next month. We're both like 39. Our oldest child is Jared, and he's a junior at Mountain View High School. And we have 2 daughters, one in junior high and one in 6th grade. So they were a year and 8 days apart there. So they grew up pretty close. Usually they're best friends. Sometimes they're best enemies, but it's been fun seeing them grow up together. I guess I gotta say something about disc golf. So, my son Jared and I play a lot of disc golf. Some of you might know this freaking golf. It's a ton of fun. We play probably 2 times a week. And it's been great because this is something that we do together because we both love doing it. And it's really helped us. Brought us very close together. So it's really weird because he was pretty ornery as a little guy. And now he's 16 and it's just like a perfect angel. This is, from all the stories I heard, this is kind of the opposite. Usually they start out angels and then they become teenagers and they're crazy. Well, I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about my kids yet. So Jared's a teenager, he's 16, Rebecca's 13, Lindsay's 12. But, you know, in like 5 more months, then I'll have 3 teenagers. So then I guess I'll be a real parent. But, about the what?
Other siblings.
Okay, other siblings. Pete and Mike are older than me. They are both Airways here. He worked on America West before that, if those of you remember the history. So it was America West, and they merged with US Airways, and then they merged with American Airlines. He's based out of Dallas. Mike works on their website or something. And then there's me, I'm number 3. And then my brother Ken, he's the next. He's in Sierra Vista. He's been there for like 20 years. Semi-retired. He's a car guy. If anybody needs a car, whatever. I need a 10-year-old clunker or brand new, whatever. He saved us a lot of money on cars over the years. And then Daryl is next. He's living in Taiwan. So he's a writer, and he was working for the Mesa Tribune and saw the writing on the wall there. And then he got a job working for Thunderbird University in the West Valley and doing all their publications for them. And while he was there, his wife said, well, as long as I can go to Thunderbird school for free, because it's apparently a reputable international business school. So she got an international degree of some kind or other. And then when we left there, my brother got a job working at the University of Maryland, kind of doing what he was doing for Thunderbird. And then while they were there, my sister-in-law, she got a job with the State Department. And they both loved to travel, so she put in they wanted to travel. So for the last couple of years, they've been in Taiwan, which would scare me to death right now, but they don't worry about stuff like that, so it's all good. And then it's my sister, Julene. She's a pickleball pro. She's living in Salt Lake area these days. And she literally is a pro. And she eats, sleeps, and drinks pickleball. She hasn't killed over on the court yet. But if she does, let's hope there's some really good medical people playing on the next court.
And she lives where?
Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she's Salt Lake, but one of those,
somewhere up there.
One of those towns there, Lehigh, I don't know. And then the youngest in our family is Ben, and he's in Florence for another 10 years or so. If any of you have heard his story, but he did some bad things, and these things happen. But we still love him.
Oh, didn't know about that.
He's been there like 5 years.
Okay, well, thanks for the update.
Very good.
Awesome.
I would like to hear from Stephanie. Okay, Stephanie.
All right, Stephanie.
I'm Stephanie. My dad is Jeff. My grandparents were Wayne and Dixie Amberson. I'm married to Jason. We've been married 2 years. We have 6 kids together. My 4 are the oldest and his 2 are the youngest. So our kids are... Well, I'll just tell you how old they'll be at the end of June, because 4 of them have birthdays in June and 2 just had birthdays in March. So they'll be 20, 19, 16, 15, 13, 11, which is sophomore in college. Well, my son's almost done with his sophomore year. My daughter's almost done with her freshman year in college at NAU. They're up at NAU in Flagstaff. Then we have 2 sophomore freshmen in high school, a 7th grader and a 5th grader. I teach special education at Sossaman Middle School, 7th grade, and he is a security guard at Highland Junior High. So, yeah. Oh yeah, Jason's aunt is Donna. It's his dad's little sister. So we're double related by marriage. And I think that's it.
Thank you.
That's really all there is to my family.
Yay!
Also, if there's some way on that sheet that's going around with phone numbers, emails, would you put how many siblings you think live in the valley, and then maybe how many you think live in Arizona? I didn't know the count, and that was just one of my questions. It's like, how many of us live in Arizona? How many of us live here in the valley area? I mean, it's just kind of interesting to know. Because I am really impressed that somehow the word got out to you. I didn't know how else to do it but Facebook and texting a few that I had phone numbers for.